This is the appropriate reaction. This is appropriate. I agree. This is dumb. Listen, like maybe Oda had this plan for a minute. Maybe it is because let's say the dad books are wrong, or let's just assume the dad books are wrong, okay? And he was from the West Blue, actually born in Wild Country, some bullshit like that, right? He left at some point, even though you're not supposed to be able to leave, really. He went to fucking Locktown, watched Roger executed, then he came back at some point once Kaido tried to take over. He heard the word that show's going down. What the does that change?
It changes his relevance to the story if he can read poneglyphs, or if he can get them away to laugh tail by getting the zombie or whatever. But
like you see how like you're okay with undercutting Robin's purpose in the story.
Yes, because
that's stupid.
Because I don't actually believe Robin is the one and only person to be able to read poneglyphs.
It's not about you're undercutting O'Hara's, because like literally like the whole flashback was how the world at large makes every attempt to shut down any activity from learning the past. They even wiped out an entire nation in the process to do that. But it's okay if GECKO MORIA knew this entire time how to read the poneglyphs. Like we're cool with that shit. All right.
The World Government's Intelligence Agency isn't exactly the greatest, is it? When it fumbled, not being able to catch this runaway fruit for 900 years. But I'm supposed to expect that they could eliminate every single person that could read the poneglyphs.
It's not about the world government finding about that. It's about whether or not they did. It's not important. What's important is Robin's purpose in the story, and also the Three-Eyed Clan's importance to the story. That's the most important thing. It was already very, very suspect to have the Three-Eyed Tribe exist as a clan in the first place. Because these guys have never mentioned like she's the only one. Pudding is the only person of this clan. Never mentioned a single time. They're just kind of there, okay? But even still, there are limitations where she has to actually go through some sort of like awakening or some sort of like process in order to actually have that happen in the first place. But now we're talking about no. Moria been known this shit. Moria knew this entire time how to do the poneglyphs from scratch, and we're cool with that being the constant for the story for Moria's purpose, because moving forward that'll help Buggy out, because Buggy will go impel down, or he'll get all the warlords on his banner, that kind of shit. No.
Yes,
no. I know you're fine with that, but that lesson. I'm not the only one. I know you are. I know you are, because like it upscales Moria, but that's not good writing. That sucks. That's really dog shit. That's why Jay had the reaction, because so many different things have to be worse in the story for that to make any sense.
Would you have this attitude?
No.
If it was revealed that Shanks can read the poneglyphs.
Yes.
Nah, no one here believes that.
It's not a good thing for multiple people. Like, you have to remember, like, I don't know why people, why do folks forget the time skip? I mean, the pre-time skip. There was so much on Robin being captured in the first place because it was so critical for their journey. And then Robin as a character going through what she went through in the first place in Ohara to survive the situation where even the civilians that existed in Ohara got killed by a Kainu because they just couldn't even risk that getting out in the first place. Robin, even in Wild Country, was on the verge of being captured. Well, maybe on the verge, but she's being targeted by Cypher Pole because, again, her value is that high. Her bounty's damn near $1 billion because her value is that to the story. Hey, Moria's of the same category. What the f?
What if he can read it, but he can't really interpret it?
Hey, imagine he can read it and write it.
There can be some finagling. I mean, I guess because again, like guys, if Momonosuke was curtailed, so you spit it, you spit it on Momo's face too. So what?
I'm very glad you have the right reaction to this, Cole.
Yeah, no, listen. Like when I feel like, look, I love the story, but when the story does bullshit,
I give you shit a lot, but when stuff like this happens, at least you're understanding that this can't be the thing.
All I'm gonna say on this is apparently Julius let me know while I was streaming. Apparently his kanji backwards reads Kozuki, so if you wanted to always like write it as it was there, I guess. But he was raised in Ringo, not the capital, so I agree. He probably shouldn't know how to read the poneglyphs, but Oda will probably meander his way.
And then also he was born in the West Blue according to the Vivid card, so it's like okay, like
according to the last cover page story also, that literally says on his grave he was a hero born in West Blue, raised in Ringo. So he was born in West Blue, went to Wano, left Wano, and then came back to fight Kaido.
And also went to the West Blue again to get Thriller Bark.
Yes, pretty much, exactly. Yes, that too. So it's like, okay, like you have a situation here where Moria, again, like this guy who has been a pirate, GECKO pirates, the KOZUKI pirates in some sense. Moria, he went out and he's someone who's a pirate, and I know it's like I believe it's like hard to leave Wano Country. It's not easy to leave Wano Country or even come into country, because Whitebeard, when he came in 30 years ago, his ship was destroyed. And then also too is that because he was a pirate, I think that's like frowned upon in Wano Country, at least in the capital area. Like they're not too keen on pirates, obviously. But here he is, for obvious reasons, right? And yet somehow Sukiyaki would teach Moria, who was born in the West Blue, him how to poneglyphs. Not his what? Huh?
Well, he did teach Oden. He did.
But Oden is like his direct son.
I know. You know how we have what's his one name? Kaiba Shimosuke or whoever the hell makes the swords. He left like 50. Kind of. Yeah, like that one guy, the Kozuboro. Yeah.
Oh, Kozuboro, Kozuboro,
So Kozuboro left like 50 years ago with a bunch of Shimosuke people. So you could have it be the reverse, where they went out to sea to colonize and do something with their people. Maybe someone already had left who had ties to the royal family of Kozukis and already went out, and he's a direct descendant of that person. And somehow Oden's father, Sukiyaki, found out when he was here, and that's why he taught him. I still think it's a stretch, and I do agree with you, Cole. It is kind of like, why are we giving GECKO Moria this all of a sudden? But it's probably something where it's like he's a long lost distant relative of like maybe the former head of the Kozukis, like his son or something that went out to sea or whatever.
That can be that can pass, but he cannot read the poneglyphs. All right, just I refuse to accept that.
He probably will. He probably will. Unfortunately.
Nah.
Here's another question, Cole. I mean, it's just as bullshit as the poneglyphs, but we all know and theorize that if Buggy breaks out Doflamingo, he'll probably get some information pertaining to the Holy Land and maybe Emu. If GECKO Moria joins up with their guild, let's say not just the poneglyphs, what if he actually knows that Pluton's there?
I don't know how he would know, because again, that kind of goes back to the whole poneglyph thing.
That also goes to my my question about Moria, because
I don't think so.
Like in the first place, like he on Thriller Bark, he was able to get the corpses of Captain John and Guanzui.
Yeah,
I'm wondering how he got the corpses if they did die on God Valley. How did he get those corpses?
That might have been after. That might have been after
God Valley is Thriller Bark.
But
I don't think so.
It makes no sense for him to like just immediately go over there right after the events of God Valley. Like, unless they brought the bodies to Wano, I don't know. How does he get the corpses of Captain John and Guanzui?
By traveling.
I'm about to say by traveling, because we have no idea we have no idea if they died on God Valley or somewhere else entirely. We assume that they died on God Valley, and maybe it's part of God Valley, Thriller Bark, but we have no idea. We have to wait and see how that happens. Right. But I mean, keep in mind that all the corpses are also modified by Hogback. You need a Hogback to modify all the corpses so they can be stronger. They can have, and so they can have better souls or shadows put inside of them. But that was the plan he had after he lost to Kaido, because he lost his entire crew to Kaido. Kaido, and he nixed them all. He annihilated them.
And that's why he even had Project Soldier 99 or 999 for ores, because he specifically says, if only I had ores, I would have beat Kaido, which I'm going to be like, I don't think he would have beaten Kaido with ores.
Kaido would have destroyed him.
Also just realized, because now that we know GECKO Moria has more importance and all that stuff, he actually saw Roger's execution, and I guess after seeing Roger's execution, he just went back to Wano Country. He's like,
probably heard Kaido was there.
I guess so. But like, remember,
wait, what was that again in the timeline? 25 years ago?
So that was, I think, over 20 years ago, and that was during the 5 years that Oden was dancing, and Oden read the newspaper. So at some point, when that newspaper comes out, GECKO Moria was at the island, and I guess made his way back to Wano Country to fight Kaido.
Yeah, I'm assuming that too. Yeah, all this is well and good. It's just that I refuse to accept any poneglyph reading from this guy. You gotta have some insight on ancient history, things of that sort. But actually reading the language is, I think, a step too far. I think Oda shouldn't do that with GECKO Moria. I would much rather Buggy lucks his way into it. I'd much rather that
devalues the whole poneglyph system in the first place.
It does not. No, it does not, because it's way more consistent with Buggy's story. Buggy was a bitch in the East Blue, and he lucked his way to be an emperor of the sea in the new world. So if he can do that, then you can do that here too. I'd much rather than have Moria
way to the One Piece, the place that has been explicitly said you cannot reach without the road poneglyphs, than luck into meeting a guy that can read it.
Correct. It's way more consistent. It makes way more sense.
It's not the fact that it devalues the system per se. Buggy, it's been established in the story that everything that Buggy has done after losing to Luffy has been luck. He's the only character in the story that's been attributed to it. And we all know he's a, sort of comic relief character. If it was someone like Blackbeard, if it was someone like Law or Kid, then yeah, that's worth tripping about, because it's like, wait, what do you mean? But this is Buggy.
Like, think about it, right? It's like Buggy, folks theorize that Buggy's gonna somehow luck his way to sitting on the true throne, on Emu's throne. Yep. We're cool with that. Yeah. But for some reason, actually stumble across, through some shenanigans, through some crocodile, whatever point of information, right? He can't find, like Law, for example, maybe actually goes to Buggy's crew somehow. And then with his insight, he helps out Buggy in a roundabout way, and then boom, things like that could happen that make a lot more sense than actually having GECKO Moria be able to read the damn poneglyphs, bro. Like, kill me.
Flamingo could still have some information. Who knows?
That too, yeah.
Let's say GECKO comes from a family line, because we know all the poneglyphs are spread out throughout the world, right? And they had to be spread out somehow. I'm sure they didn't all come from Wano and then get spread out because they're heavy as probably there's
that's the lore.
But probably there's a family out there from Wano who goes out carving the writings on the poneglyph, and maybe that's where GECKO Moria gets his lineage.
But even now,
that's probably why.
No, because the Kazukis.
I thought that was Odin. Yeah, that's the actual Kozuki.
They say in Zo,
not the foreign Kozukis from West Blue, but the actual Kozukis, the main family lineage, like on some Hyuga clan shit.
That was Shimosuke's.
This is no different than the Three-Eyed Clan. A clan
that
there's a clan outside the Kazukis who can read the poneglyph, so it's not far-fetched to say.
That's a race. It's a race.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'm about to say, that's not a knowledge thing. That's a race trait where they have to awaken an ability for their races, and then they can perceive things in a unique way and understand poneglyphs and among other things, right? That's a race thing. It's a massive cop-out, bro. It's him knowing this thing is a massive cop-out. It's like it's insane.
It's not far-fetched for him to know it and not tell anyone, because, for example, Wapo saw Emu, right? He's never going to tell anyone that he knows of an emu that exists out there. But it'd be
like seeing a person, though. That's seeing a person. This is learning a writing style, like
knowledge. That's still a knowledge
and not using it.
Yeah, this is not the same as a knowledge learned through a skill. Like, remember, the Oharan people had to learn for generations how to understand the library of their ancient history texts. And the Kozukis, again, for all we know, since 900 years ago, they've been taught and passed down for generations. So you're telling me for a couple years, GECKO Moria can just learn an entire alphabet, an entire hidden language? I mean, nah.
And
again, he had this shit hidden. He learned on his own, bro. And again, as an outsider Kozuki, not even a part of the main lineage, he's being taught for Suzuki by Sukiyaki for all this, and he's a pirate, so he leaves and comes and he goes, which is kind of against Wano Country's whole purpose. And
that's
on top of that, he's gonna be able to just stumble across Buggy and boom, here you go, Buggy. I know this shit now. When Roger had to beg a Whitebeard in order to get Oda on his crew for 1 year because he's gonna die, and then he had to do all that. Oh no, I just know it, dude. I just know it.
Sukiyaki could teach
come
Odin.
on,
I think
man.
he could teach Moria, bro.
Didn't he also teach Odin because he had the intention of teaching him of Odin becoming the shogunof Wano Country too?
Yes. The same thing with Momonosuke. That was literally the
There's no way in hell he's teaching unless Moria was gonna be the shogun of Wano Country. There's no way in hell. And the problem is that this is not just some random thing, like some random power. This is reading the poneglyphs. This is like a quintessential component of finding the treasure and something that has been guarded for generations upon generations. This is not something that you can scoff at and then you're willingly giving up to Moria. It's again, as a Shanks fanboy, I'm telling you right now, if Shanks read the poneglyphs, I have big problems with that shit. That shit fucking gets me on tilt, because you have an issue where, again, this is like sacred shit. This is sacred.
What about dragons?
It's the most important skill you can have in the story right now. Reading the opponent list is more important than hockey, devil fruits, because without the ability to read the opponent list, you don't know where anything is, regardless of what
the Straw Hats should be the only ones able to get there. That's not much of a race. That's not
we know they're not the only ones.
That's a different question. You know that's a different question. To get to the laugh tail, there could be way more stuff than just, oh, you need to read the poneglyphs. For all you know, you could just put a tracker on the Straw Hats and just follow them. That's literally it.
Tracker.
Yeah.
And again, you already have the 3-eye clan that exists.
Also,
the 3-eye tribe already exists.
Kaido literally says he doesn't have a way to read the poneglyphs. Big Mom actively gave birth to Pudding, hoping that she could do it, and Blackbeard stole her for the same reason.
So it's okay when Pudding does it, but not when Moria does it.
Pudding was set up to do that from the jump.
Okay, I can understand both sides for this, but my one main issue for this is the simple fact, the hoops that we have to jump through for Moria's character to make sense without this being a problem. How did he learn it?
Okay,
when did he learn it?
Okay.
Who did he learn it from? How come he hasn't utilized this power? The fact that, yes, we do know that the KOZUKI last name could mean something outside of Wano. The world government probably could have learned it. They could possibly know that clan can know about the polyglyphs. That's a possibility. I'll give you that. That could be also a possibility as to why Doflamingo was given the order to kill GECKO Moria. That's all valid points. But what I'm just saying is, for the simple matter of the story, there's certain questions that come up that Oda is going to have to, or somebody is going to have to find some way to write out of a hoop how these things line up. Even if he was taught to write these polyglyphs, then he would know about the polyglyphs. He would want to use this opportunity, this information that has also been banned worldwide by the world government. He knows this, and he's a pirate. So of course he's going to use this for his own, methods, but he hasn't. The only thing he's been doing is gathering an army to fight Kaido.
See, this is why I said before, it's like, I think it's really strange that we're willing to sacrifice the quality of one of the prime characters of the story to upscale an irrelevant dude, at least it was relevant dude, that was defeated in the pre-time skip because people like him for whatever dumb reasons. Like,
how is
that to me? Because again, if the 3-Eye clan was already a clan that put Robin's importance in the story somewhat at risk, because there was another avenue that folks read the poneglyphs from, but you had to kind of go through the whole thing of the 3-Eye clan awakening. GECKO Moria, who Bing knew that from the very beginning, it does devalue her purpose. It does devalue her purpose in the story. Absolutely does.
It does. I think you guys keep equating understanding the ancient language to knowing about the poneglyphs.
Yeah.
No. Remember, because knowing the language in of itself is a big issue. That's why the Marines, that's why Kainu killed all those civilians on the ship. If any one of them knew that language, that in of itself was too much of a risk to let that propagate across the world. So they all died.
Okay,
just knowing the language and the language alone is a risk. It doesn't. That in itself is a problem. Full stop.
That's why Dofi took him out.
They just said that he's too weak.
Wait, guys. Then you're actually saying, therefore, the world government knew the entire time that GECKO Moria knew how to read it.
Yeah.
You understand that, right?
Or they knew recently. What?
They
could either know or they could listen.
Look, their intel isn't exactly the fucking best. We all know this.
It's inconsistent, but still, for most of the time, it is the best. I'm just gonna say this. When the 3-Eye clan were introduced, I remember so many people were not okay with the fact that there's a race that could just read the poneglyphs, but now all of a sudden, when it's GECKO Moria, apparently it's now fine.
Thank you. That's what I'm fucking saying.
No, but Cole, that doesn't make sense.
The problem with what all y'all saying,
poneglyph is not a massive.
No. I told you before, I have a problem with the 3-Eye clan, but because there are conditions for that, there's something has to happen, or there's a process to it, right? You just can't know it, right? It's like, okay, at least there's some sort of conditions that are there, so it's not like, hey, you just happen to know everything off the gate and then you're cool. No. but you're applying that to Moria, which I think is insanely fucked up.
Just be out
What's wrong with that?
I think it's a problem because I think it devalues Robin as a character who's a mainline character, and it devalues out of her whole process of becoming what she is today. I think it devalues that a lot. Essentially, we agree to disagree. That's it.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
See you. Bye bye.